Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City was something I was looking forward to seeing. Then that first trailer came out and my expectations, went down quite a bit, but still I was being optimistic when it came to going to see this movie. Unfortunately, that optimism did not pay out, and I have to report that I am not going to recommend people go to see Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. It almost feels like the people who made this movie looked at the old Resident Evil movie series and said, the problem with that is that they weren't enough like the games. And so they made a checklist of things from the games, like references, like, oh, the semi-truck driver who eats the cheeseburger. We got to have him. We got to have somebody say Jill's sandwich. We've got to have all of the characters from the game. We got to have Chris and Claire and Jill and Leon and Wesker and Chief Irons. And we got to make sure and have all of the monsters, right? The zombies, the dogs, the crows, the lickers. We got to have William Birkin in there. But the thing is, they took all of these things, and then when they were writing the story, they said, but, we don't need to put these things where they actually belong in Resident Evil. And they kind of just put people and monsters in situations in places where it didn't make sense as a reference to the games, and then makes it so it barely makes sense as a story in general. And as a fan, that made this movie really frustrating because I would see references and roll my eyes because I know they just put that in there because they're like, see, remember the game? And then I only can imagine that as somebody who might not know about the games, it would be confusing. And then they change enough of the story around that as a fan, that is not fun either. But it isn't just as, a adaptation that this movie fails, not at all. Like, that might be the least of its worries. As a movie in general, it really just doesn't work very well. The biggest thing that this movie has going against it is the fact that it looks super cheap. They are not going into this knowing the budget that they have and trying to use it in a way that benefits the film. Instead, they're trying to do things that are way outside of their pay grade, especially with the sets and the backgrounds. Something that I don't usually notice as poor in movies. They are really going for the looks of the game, and because of that, when they're putting people in front of these green screens, you can just tell that people are in front of the green screens and not where they're supposed to be in the movie. And it really gives the movie that is, being put out by Sony in theaters the look of a fan film. From the first line that Claire gives as a little girl in this movie, I was like, uh-oh, the delivery is not great, and what she's being given to say isn't much better. Overall, the movie had a couple moments where I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool, where it's fun to see that on the big screen, or maybe even a couple of laughs that landed genuinely. But overall, this is just a big disappointment. Not a surprise, but still a big disappointment. Have you seen the movie? Are you going to go see it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe. Help us get to 250 before the end of the year. Appreciate it a lot. Take care, and we'll see you next time.